Hi, this is Nancy. In this video I'm going to show you how to set up a leader guide so that one page has information for your trainer and the facing page has information for your participants. So I'll start a new leader. I have Leader Guide Pro Plus running and I'm in Microsoft Office Word, which is where you use Leader Guide Pro. So I'll start a new leader guide. And when I start a new leader guide, I have the option to put a name on the cover and copyright information. And I can choose whether it's going to be set up so that it will print properly on paper, two-sided. And I can choose a regular 8.5 by 11, nice wide margin, a lot of white space setup. Or I can choose a setup that has much narrower margins and uses more of the page. I'll just take the regular one for now. And I can choose full functionality or express. If I choose express, I won't get the training at a glance and I could get rid of a lot of the upfront stuff that comes with the leader guide, but I'll just leave it set for full for now. So I'm going to click OK. A new document is opening up and I'm prompted to save it, which I'm going to do. And so now I have the standard first few pages that you get anytime you start a new Leader Guide Pro Leader Guide, and you probably know you can customize the way this looks. So I'm going to go right through to my first module and my first lesson, and it's the first lesson page that I'm going to really start working on. When you're in a leader guide, a module, which is also known as a topic, is a page, and we give you a page for the topic in the leader guide so that you can point out to the trainer what the learning objectives are for this particular chunk of the program and how much time is going to be spent just on this particular section of the program, and just briefly what the trainer is going to do during this particular chunk of the program, and then any materials that might be needed to run this particular section of the class. So the next page is our first lesson page, also known as the first subtopic, so let's call it Welcome. This red stuff should always be the very last thing in your leader guide. You shouldn't be working down here. You want to just always have the red stuff be the last thing in your book. If this gets to be 300 pages, it should end with that red stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by using this page as a page for our trainer, and I'm going to bring up my Leader Guide Pro ribbon, and maybe the first thing I want the trainer to do is say something, and I can put in some auto text if I type in an equal sign and then the letters SSL and hit enter. That expands for me to say something like, and then I can type in just briefly what I want the trainer to say. And maybe the next thing we're going to do right away is some kind of maybe an icebreaker activity. So I could put in a visual cue for a group activity and then put in the instructions for how I want the trainer to run the icebreaker activity. And maybe there's going to be a brief Q&A that's going to follow that, just to get people talking a little bit. And maybe now the next thing I want to do is add a participant workbook page to this book, and I want it to be, on the facing page in my document. But I still have room, on this page. I've got plenty of room to put stuff, but maybe I don't want anything else here. I just now want to have something for the participant workbook. So what I would do is I could add on this page, I could add a participant workbook block, which is a visual cue to use the participant workbook. It also has a placeholder for the page number in the participant workbook, which you will just click a button later on once I'm assuming you're going to extract a participant book from this leader guide. And so you'll do that by using our extract feature, and you'll go from a leader guide to a participant guide. And once you have a participant guide built from this leader guide, then you'll use our sync button, and you'll sync things so that this leader guide will reference that participant book that you make, and this placeholder here for the page number will get filled in with the actual page numbers in your participant book. So here I have stuff for the trainer, and now I have a participant workbook page, and I want it to be on a separate page in this book. So what I do is I just set my cursor in it anywhere, and I click up here in these buttons with the red lines in them. I click on continue, and notice what just happened. It put in a page break, and it moved my participant workbook block to the top of a new page. And so now I can, add content and whatever I want here, or just some notes to myself about what I'm thinking is going to go on this particular participant workbook page. And maybe this is all there is for now. I don't have a lot else to put here at the moment. So what I'm going to do now is put in another trainer block, like maybe now the trainer's going to say something. And once I have the block there with my cursor in it, once again, I'm going to use my continue button. And what does that do? It puts in a page break, and it moves me to the top of a new page. And so now, I would put my content in here, what I want the trainer to say or do. I would put in other blocks and, video instructions, like maybe we're showing a video clip, and maybe I'm going to introduce some kind of a tool or a job aid, and I'm going to put information in here, and, just fill this in with stuff. Maybe we're going to use a flip chart and, have some kind of activity. And then I'm ready again to send people to their participant workbook. And again, I've got room on this page to do it, so I would just put it there and use continue. And once again, I've been moved, a page break has been put in, and I've been moved to the top of a new page. And now, again, I can just put in whatever I want here for my participant workbook. Does this make sense? I hope it does. It's really simple. It's so simple. It's just amazing. And then every now and then I would update all fields, and I can go to my table of contents, and that'll show me how my table of contents is starting to look. I can navigate from there to my to my lesson pages. And when I'm ready, I can use special, and I can extract from my leader guide to my participant guide. And for now, I'll just take out the participant workbook blocks, but I could take anything out of my leader guide and move it over to my participant workbook. And a new document is going to start, and I have choices about how I set it up. I'll just take a standard default at the moment, and I'm going to save it. And now down here it's showing me, what's happening, this little blue stuff. And then it's saying extract to participant guide complete, and so I have the option to click on done, so I do. So now I have I have two files now. I have my leader guide file and my participant guide file. So this is my participant guide, and if I just pull through here, I'll quickly see that here's the stuff that I pulled out from my leader guide. And that obviously I didn't have much in there. I only had these two blocks, but just to show you. So now that I'm here in my participant workbook, I could, make this different. I could, edit it and add stuff here. And I can use the Leader Guide Pro block buttons, like maybe I want to put in a capture block, and I want to put in a bunch of lines. And then over here, maybe under here I'm going to drop in a thing for some key points. And maybe I'm going to want the participants to actually write in the key points as we have a discussion. So I could, I can set this up however I want, again using these buttons and adding modules and lessons and so on. And again, I would update all fields every now and then and save my work. And now, leaving this participant workbook open, and let me changing this. And of course, you could get rid of this, direct participants to the participant workbook. You might not want that, and you could format this text a little differently. So again, saving, and now I'm going to go back to my leader guide, and I'm going to save it, and it doesn't matter where I am in this book. I can be anywhere. It could be on the cover, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to click on Special, and I'm going to say Sync Participant Workbook Blocks. And Leader Guide Pro wants me to tell which participant guide do I want to sync with this leader guide, and since I have the one I want open, that makes it easy. I just click on it and click Select. If it wasn't open, or if it wasn't, what was showing up here wasn't the one I wanted, I would browse, and that would take me into Explorer, and I would get what I need. After I click Select, we did a quick check to make sure that the number of workbook blocks matches up between the two guides, and it does. So now I'm going to click Continue, and now I have a choice. I can sync the page numbers and the content, or just the page numbers. I'll go with page numbers and content, and what's going to happen is a change is going to be made to my leader guide based on what I did in my participant book. So if I click OK, it just takes a second. I get a message that the process is done. My leader guide is open here now, and so I can see now a reference to a page, and the change that I had made in the content there. And there should be another one. There it is. Here's my other one, and there's the changes that I had made there. And so this is referencing page 4 in the participant workbook. If I bring up my workbook, and there it is. And is that page 4? Yes, it is. So that's how you do that. It's super easy for me, of course, because I know what I'm doing, but it's not hard. You can do this, and you should try it. It's really easy. And if you have to make this kind of a leader guide where you need this this stuff for the trainer on one page, stuff for the participant on the facing page, this is a fabulous way to do it. It's really, really easy. So I hope this has helped you. Feel free to be in touch with us if you have questions, and thanks for watching.